Namaste, children. So, we are back again, continuing with the first chapter, revision work of the first chapter, that is resource and development. Now, what do we mean by development? Development of resource means the use of resource with the available technology. Resources needs to be tapped properly. They need to be developed with the help of available technology. And technology must be such that it leads to minimum wastage in the resources. And it is necessary that the resources must be used very carefully, because some of the resources, as we have studied in the previous class, is non-renewable resources, and even if they renew, their quantity is less and their rate of renewability is very slow. Now, how these resources can lead to development of any country? So, a country which is having resources that is unutilized, their development cannot take place. For example, we have Africa, children, where there are so many resources, different kinds of resources are there in huge quantities, but most of these resources are unutilized, are untapped, and hence they do not contribute to the income of the country. They do not contribute to the development of the country. And that's why we find that there are many areas, many parts of Africa which are having the resources, but still they are categorized under the category of undeveloped nations. So resources needs to be developed with the help of the technology that is there, and the technology should be advanced technology. Let me give you some examples which will help you to understand that how resource can help in the development of the country. Like, for example, the mineral mines of the country has greatly contributed to the industrial development. All the mineral based industries have come up by utilizing the mineral resources of the country, and hence these industries have greatly led to the industrial advancement of the country. Then presence of fertile soil, rich fertile soil leads to the agricultural prosperity of a country. A country can also carry on export trade with the help of rich agricultural productivity. In India, many agricultural products are exported out of the country, mainly because we have a rich fertile soil, and at the same time we have a climatic condition where it ranges from tropical to subtropical, and hence a wide variety of crops can be grown here. Not only that, children, we have different rivers coming down the mountains, rivers originating from the glaciers, which gives a continuous supply of fresh water, and there is adequate sites for tapping this resource for developing tidal power. Being a tropical country, we continuously get the heat of the sun. So solar energy is also available to us. Not only this, children, we have a huge coastline, and the coastline provides ideal sites for setting up of these wind mills, and these windmills can provide us with wind energy. Our country is also having a rich diversity of flora and fauna. So we are rich in forest resources. We can have this tourism industry as a very lubricative industry There are so many wildlife sanctuaries and national parks which are frequented by the tourists, and it becomes a source of earning for both for the state government and the Indian government. Not only that, children, not only these resources, natural resources, which are the gifts of nature and gifts of God, the human beings of the country, if they are educated, if they are well aware of whatever is there around us and how to utilize the resource, how to take the country towards development, then the country again becomes rich in the human resources. So the human resources are particularly responsible for bringing out overall development of the country and bringing in prosperity for the country. So presence of resources are directly linked to the development of a country. So simple presence of resource is not enough for human survival. It is necessary that we know how to utilize the resources. But one thing is very important, children. We cannot indiscriminately use the resources, because the resources are the gifts of nature. We will have to preserve it for the coming generation. Do you know, children, what can happen if the resources are overutilized? Now, this resource development or development of resources also leads to misuse of resources. And when we are misutilizing the resources, it will first of all lead to the finishing up of the resources. The resources will come to end very soon, very fast. The resources will finish. At present, children, many mineral mines has got exhausted because of overutilization of resources. Apart from that, children, those people who will be exploiting the resources, or those countries which will be exploiting the resources, they will become very rich. But the people who will get exploited, or the countries which will get exploited, they will become poor. And it was very clear during the British time, when the British used to exploit the rich agricultural resources of our country and made themselves rich, and our farmers became poor day by day. Our society became degraded day by day. So in the world, we find that some countries are there which are very rich because they have exploited the resources since a long time back. They are now the developed resources, and those countries which got exploited, they are still undeveloped countries. They are still poor countries. Of course, now we do not use the word undeveloped, we use the word developing. So remain positive, and instead of using the word undeveloped or underdeveloped, we use the word developing country. So what I said, this will lead to the accumulation of resources in the hands of few countries, in the hands of few people, or in the hands of few societies. And finally, the nature will be damaged to a great extent, and this will lead to air pollution. This will lead to ecological crisis in every field, such as global warming will be there, ozone layer depletion will be there, environmental pollution, land degradation, soil erosion, and the human health will be at stake because of all this. The entire planet will undergo through different phases of disaster if we continue to damage the resource and create havoc with the resource in such a great extent. So a solution has to be found out, and the solution is a balanced, equitable distribution of resources for a life that will be peaceful, happy, and healthy. So, a equitable distribution of resources is necessary, and this can only be possible through adoption of the concept of sustainable development. Now, what is this concept of sustainable development? The concept of sustainable development stresses that we will have to maintain the resources for the coming generations, for the future generations, and we cannot damage the environment. We have to take care of the environment. We have to see that resources are there for the future generation, and at the same time we will also have to see that there is development in the present scenario. So, development without damaging the environment and keeping resource for the future generation is the main essence of the concept of sustainable development. So, this concept of sustainable development has become very popular at present, and this concept was introduced after the developed countries saw that their ecology was getting damaged. Their life and health is at stake because they have overutilized their resources and there is environmental pollution everywhere. So, survival is necessary for them, and that's why this concept of sustainable development was introduced to the world by the developed nations. And this concept was first introduced to the world in the Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit 1992. This Rio de Janeiro is a place in Brazil and the place for the International Earth Summit, first International Earth Summit. And since then, this International Earth Summit is being held in one country or the other, and this summit or this conference discusses different issues related to the environment and the health of the people at the global level. So it calls for environmental protection and solving the urgent problems of socio-economic protection and development at the global level. So, the fourth Earth Summit was held with 100 head of the states, that is the prime ministers or the presidents attending it, and this summit, Earth Summit, discussed problems and signed a document or declaration on global climatic change and biological diversity. That means they signed the document which discussed different issues that have caused the climatic change in the world and how to control that climate change. It also discussed issues related to maintenance of biological diversity, because the earth was warming up, and this warming up has led to extinction of many species. We all know that different species survives under different temperatures. So when the air was getting warmed up, the glaciers are melting fast, and not only the animals which are living on the land, but even the amphibians and fishes are finding it difficult to survive. There are many plants and microorganisms, many animals which have already become extinct, and if we want that a healthy food chain is maintained and we human beings survive, then it is necessary that the global climate change is stopped, because if any species, any group of species disappear or become extinct, then there will be break in the food chain and it may lead to disastrous effect on the health of the people. And because we were entering into the 21st century, so Agenda 21 was signed up. Now this Agenda 21 also aimed at achieving global sustainable development. It aimed at combating or fighting against the damage that has been caused by poverty, that has been caused by overuse of the environment, overexploitation of the environment. It will fight against the damage caused by different diseases. And all this is not the responsibility of a single country, but it is the responsibility of all the countries together, because all the countries can remain in peace if the other countries are also in good health and peace. So the work will be done through cooperation, and it will be based on common interest, mutual needs and shared responsibilities. So common interest, why common interest? Because if any country is suffering from disease, then it will easily spread to the other country. So if we all want to remain healthy, all the countries must remain healthy. And the work will be done through cooperation. If there is any kind of disaster in the world, every country will come ahead to help, because if one country is in danger at present, then the other country will also be in danger in some time or the other in future. So all this work will be done through cooperation. It will be done based on mutual needs and understanding, and the main way how to do this is through involving the local government. The work will be done through the grassroots level, that is from the base. That is, first the local government will have to draw out plan and will have to prove that it is success. So different local government working towards the success will lead to the success of the country. So Agenda 21 will be adopted by the different countries, and the central government of every country will ensure that the work starts from the grassroots level, from the bottom, and if it is successful at the grassroots level, if it is successful work done by the local government, then of course the work will be successful. So having resources is not enough. We have to develop the resource to bring economic prosperity in the country. But in the run to achieve economic prosperity, we have already overused the resources. It is necessary to conserve these resources for the future generation. It is necessary to make the earth a healthy and livable planet for the coming generation, and for that the equitable distribution is necessary, and for the equitable distribution of necessary for the sustained quality of life, for global peace, we need sustainable development, and this sustainable development can only be successful by the mutual cooperation, mutual understanding between different countries to maintain global peace and understanding among them. So children, today we have completed the second important topic of the resource chapter, that is development of resource and sustainable development, along with Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit 1992 and the Agenda 21. So children, thank you. Go through the chapter when you are doing this portion. Also, read the chapter after watching this video so that you do not miss out any point and it becomes very clear to you all. Thank you, children.